Today in this video we are going to revise circle equation. First of all, let's revise some of the topics from coordinate geometry. Say that this is point A with coordinates x1, y1, and this is point B with coordinates x2 and y2. How do we find the midpoint of A and B? Midpoint of A and B can be found by x1 plus x2 over 2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And how do we find length of AB and its actually magnitude of AB? The formula is square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And how do we find the equation of line passing through points A and B? The equation is y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient or slope and c is the y-intercept. And what about parallel lines? If two lines are parallel to each other, that means their gradients are equal. What about if we have perpendicular lines? If we have perpendicular lines, that means m1 gradient of the first line times gradient of the second line is equal to -1. And let's talk about the circle and its equation. Say that point A with coordinates A and B is the center of the circle and R is the radius. So equation of circle C is either x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared, or you have to remember the expanded form of the equation of circle as well, which is x squared plus y squared minus 2ax minus 2by plus a squared plus b squared minus r squared is equal to 0. You have to remember both. Say that points A and B are on the circumference of the circle and AB is a diameter of the circle. That means midpoint of AB is equal to the center of the circle, and length of AB, which is actually length of the diameter divided by 2, will give you the radius. And let's talk about some of the properties of the circle. Properties. The first one is gradient of radius times gradient of tangent, because they are perpendicular to each other, is -1. If AB passes through the center is a diameter, then angle C, which is on the circumference, is always 90 degrees. So gradient of AC times gradient of CB is equal to, again, -1, because they are perpendicular to each other. And as the third property, we can say that this is radius coming from the center O. This is another radius, so their lengths are equal. Here, OA is a radius, also OB is a radius, AB is a chord here, and OM divides AB into two equal parts, and we call OM the perpendicular bisector of AB. So it is, OM is always divides AB into two equal parts, and also it is, OM is perpendicular to AB. And these are the properties that you need to know to be able to solve circle equation problems. Let's write two problems about circle equation, solve them, and finish the revision of the chapter. Example 1. Example 1. AB is a diameter of circle C. Coordinates of point A is -1 and 3. Also, coordinates of point B is 11 and 7. Write down the equation of circle C is the question. Let's have a quick sketch. This is point A with coordinates -1 and 3. Here's point B with coordinates 11 and 7. This is a diameter, or AB is a diameter of circle C. So midpoint of AB is equal to the center of circle C. So what is the formula for midpoint? x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2. Let's change this one, make it 5 over 2. So x1 is -1, x2 is 11 over 2, y1 is 3, y2 is 5. So the midpoint of AB, also the center of the circle, is 5 and 4. The coordinates of the circle, center of the circle C is 5, 4. Let's find the length of the radius. Radius is equal to length of diameter AB divided by 2. What is the formula for length of the diameter? That is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 square under the square root. So this is going to be 144 plus 4 over 2. So radius is equal to root 148 over 2. So what is the equation of the circle? It is x minus a squared plus, equation of the circle is always equal to x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. So x minus a is 5, b is 4, is equal to square of radius, which is root 148 over 2 squared. So x minus 5 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 148 over 4. So x minus 5 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 37. This is the equation of the circle. And that's the first example about equation of circle. Now let's write another question here. Again, let's revise that question actually. This is AB, and AB is the diameter of circle C. So midpoint of the diameter is always the center of the circle. By the help of the formula, simple formula about midpoint of 2 points, we actually here find the center of the circle. And how do we find the radius of the circle? Because we need the radius to be able to write the equation of the circle. Length of the diameter divided by 2 gives you the length of the radius of the circle. And what is the formula for length of a line segment? It is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared under the square root. And if we divide length of the diameter by 2, we obtain the length of the radius. Here the center is 5, 4. So A is 5, B is 4, and radius is root 148 over 2. And there I substitute the values of A, B, and R, simplify the equation, and get the right answer. And let's carry on with the second example. Example 2. Equation of circle C is x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. A. Find the center of the circle and radius r. B. Find the coordinates of y-intercept of circle C. The point is P with coordinates A, 0, B, where B is greater than 0. And find the equation of the tangent drawn to circle C at point P. Now, first part of the question is, we have the equation x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. And what is the general equation of the circle? We have two equations actually. Either x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared, or the expanded form of that one, which is x squared plus y squared plus, minus 2ax minus 2by plus a squared plus b squared minus r squared is equal to here 0, where AB is the center and r is the radius. Here, when we check the coefficient of 6, it is coefficient of x is 6. Here the coefficient of x is minus 2a, so minus 2a is equal to 6, a is equal to minus 3. Here the coefficient of y is minus 4, the coefficient of y is minus 2b, b is equal to 2. So the center of the circle is minus 3, 2. This is the center. And here minus 12 is equal to a squared plus b squared minus r squared. So a squared plus b squared minus r squared is equal to minus 12. What is the value for a? A is minus 3 squared. Substitute the value of b there, which is 2. 2 squared minus r squared is equal to minus 12. 9 plus 4 minus r squared is equal to minus 12. Here it is very easy to see that r squared is equal to 25. Length of radius is equal to 5. So this is the answer for part A of the question, which is find the center of the circle. That's the center, A and B, and find the radius of the circle, which is 5. Now let's carry on with the question there. Part B, find the coordinates of y-intercept of circle C, and we call the point P. Yes, let's have a quick sketch there. This is minus 3, 2, and that's the coordinate of the center of the circle. And the equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared plus 6x Here we had an internet failure, so I start from the beginning of part B. This is the equation of the circle. That's the center of the circle. And to be able to find the y-intercept, x is 0. I substitute 0 for x in the equation of the circle, and I obtain the quadratic equation y squared minus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. And after a quick factorization, y is equal to 6 and y is equal to minus 2. Here the coordinates of the y-intercept is 0, 6, because here b is greater than 0, and when you check only 6 is greater than 0, minus 2 is less than 0, so that's the point P here. This is point P. And find C is the wants to find the equation of the tangent drawn to circle at point P. This is point P, and here we know that m radius times m tangent is equal to minus 1. Let's find the gradient of the radius. which passes through the points from the midpoint -3, 2 and 0, 6. So M radius is going to be M radius is going to be 6 minus 2 over 0 minus -3, 4 over 3. M radius times M tangent is equal to -1. 4 over 3 times M tangent is equal to -1. M tangent is equal to -3 over 4. So y is equal to equation of the tangent line. Again, we had a connection problem here. Sorry about that. In part C, we obtained the gradient of tangent as -3, 4. I substitute -3 over 4 there for the gradient of the tangent line. In place of x, I put 0. In place of y, I put 6. So C is equal to 6. And that's the equation of the tangent line. And that's the end of the video. See you next time.